just curious from a, obviously a kind of big guy Lionsgate, what are these companies doing with the movies they're holding on to? Are you seeing them waiting? Are you seeing them, going direct video? What are you seeing?
Well, this topic is the topic of Hollywood. The exhibitionists, so meaning the theaters in Canada, it's dominated by Cineplex, and in the U.S. there's AMC and Regal and others. It's a pretty demoralizing story out there. Cineplex, I don't know if you know, but had agreed to a takeover at $34, slightly above $34 per share. Stock's $5 today, so a lot of wealth has been destroyed. Really sad to see that the parent company, or the company, pardon me, that was going to buy Cineplex has had its own stock crushed, and the U.S. theaters have been crushed and publicly announced that they're fighting for their lives. It's really sad with the thought of, the theaters going under. So many of us love to go to a movie, see it on the big screen, go with buddies, go with a girlfriend, take your parents, take your kids, whatever it may be. I think, it's quite possible there's a smaller footprint going forward, but hard to think that the movies would go away. They are part of the ecosystem. We talked about the prints and ads and the money that's spent to promote a movie. That's very important for when a movie, in the DVD and Blu-ray world, which many of us don't even encounter anymore, but still exists in certain swaths of North America, that name awareness, by virtue of it having been promoted to go into the movie theaters, is pretty important. At the same time, you're seeing movies. Look at this latest Borat movie opening up on Amazon, and you don't pay any more money for it. It's just part of your subscription. And yet they, I don't know what the budget was. I haven't looked up the movie, but I bet you that was an $85 million movie. I'm making the number up, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm close to the right number there. So it's going to be a really fascinating next couple of years. I tend to be bullish. I bought some Cineplex stock. I hope I'm not way offside there. As for the studios, most of them have sat on these big picture movies, James Bond being the most one that's talked about, that's been repeatedly delayed. And the theaters are counting on that bringing bodies out to the theaters. And it's a problem. You make a movie, you're expecting to get your return within a certain period of time, especially if you've already done some marketing associated with it. But I would think there'd be some pretty pent up demand for people to go to the theaters and enjoy themselves. And, there are some open, but not in the major centers right now, which is a problem because you can't half open a movie. You can't, have a movie just for some centers. But a lot of people's livelihoods and a lot of people's enjoyment are riding on a return to quote unquote normal in that respect. My gut is we'll get there. So, and I don't think it's as far away as people think. It wouldn't surprise me if within 6 months from now, a lot of major motion pictures were opening up and people were feeling quite safe going to theater. Might be still wearing a mask associated with it. And maybe some people have a vaccine or don't, but I think that's going to happen.